Imagine walking through a city where the only footsteps you hear are your own, through the walls of empty buildings and deserted streets. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are listing some of the abandoned cities in the world. But before moving ahead, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Number 7. Hashima, Japan. Once a busy place, it is now an abandoned island where it once had a population. Located near Nagasaki, this battleship-looking island was called Gunkanjima. The island is small, just a bit bigger than 60 soccer fields. But lots of miners lived there in tall apartment buildings. They built everything close together to save space, like schools and stores. For many years, Hashima Island was doing well. The demand for coal decreased in the 1970s, which led to the shutdown of these mines. Everyone left the island, looking for work somewhere else, and Hashima Island became empty. Now, the concrete buildings on the island look quiet and lonely. Nature is taking over, with rust and plants growing everywhere. Hashima still has a touch of Japan's history, and shows a time when Japan was picking up pace in industrial evolution. Number 6. Pyramiden. This town is way up north, almost at the top of the world. It used to belong to the Soviet Union, and you can tell just by looking. The buildings are big and blocky, the kind the Soviets used to build everywhere. Pyramiden was a mining town. They dug out coal from deep in the frozen ground. It was cold and dark, but people lived there anyway. They even put in a swimming pool and built a giant statue of Lenin. But eventually, the coal ran out. Running a town that far north was already expensive. So, for obvious reasons, Pyramiden was closed down. The people left, and everything stayed behind. Now, it's like a ghost town. Polar bears roam the streets instead of people. It's crazy how far people once went for work, and how quickly it can all disappear. Number 5. Hutuan Village, China. This used to be a busy fishing town on the Shaanxi Islands, just 40 miles away from Shanghai. Once, this town buzzed with life. Fishermen filled their boats, and fresh seafood smelled all over the village. But times changed. The fish supply got smaller and smaller, big commercial fishing boats took over, and it became harder for these local fishermen to make a living. Slowly, families moved to the mainland for better work opportunities. One by one, homes got abandoned. Now vines creep over those abandoned houses. Yet, even in its empty form, Hutuan has a strange beauty. Number 4. Bombay Beach, California. Once upon a time, there was a place in California called Bombay Beach near the Salton Sea. In the 1950s and 60s, people went there to swim and sunbathe. It was a fun spot back then. But things changed. The water in the Salton Sea got saltier, and it became hard for fish to live there. It started to smell bad, and tourists stopped coming. Most residents left the area. Nowadays, Bombay Beach is quiet and strange. There are old trailers and boats all around, looking rusty and abandoned. Sometimes, you'll see colorful artwork here and there, adding some brightness to the dull scenery. It's not like other deserted towns, but it's still kind of eerie. It shows how nature can take back what was once a busy and lively place. Number 3. Tianducheng, China. Did you know a place in China called Tianducheng, which means Sky City? It was supposed to be a cool replica of Paris with fancy buildings and wide streets. They even built a fake Eiffel Tower in the middle, but not many people live here, so now it's mostly empty. This happened because of poor planning. This city is actually in a rural area with no major transportation. This made it hard to attract rich residents to live here, and regular tourists also avoided visiting this city because there's no easy and fast way to reach it. There are big apartment buildings and wide roads, but not many cars or people. Number 2. Krakow, Italy. This ancient town is way up high on a hill. People built it there long ago because they wanted to be safe and have a good view. The town grew bigger with a castle, stone streets, and many houses close together. But there was a problem. The ground around Krakow started to move and break apart. It wasn't safe anymore. In the 1960s, the people had to decide what to do. They left their homes and went down the hill to a new town. Now, Krakow is empty. Some buildings are still standing, but many have fallen. It looks like a ghost town you'd see in a movie. Even though it's sad how it ended, Krakow is still special. Number 1. Sanji Pod City, Taiwan. This place looks like a sci-fi movie scene. These weird UFO-shaped houses were supposed to be cool vacation spots. The pods are made of futuristic-looking fiberglass, and they stick out from the ground like colorful mushrooms. They were meant to be cozy little vacation homes, maybe with a nice view of the ocean. However, the whole project was abandoned in 1980 before anyone could enjoy it. The reason is said to be investment losses, several car accident deaths, and self-harming incidents during construction, which are thought to have been caused by the inauspicious act of bisecting the Chinese dragon sculpture located near the resort gates to widen the road to the buildings. Now, the pods just sit there empty and kind of spooky. The colors have faded, and some are falling apart. People say the place is haunted, or maybe just unlucky. Either way, the Sanji Pod City is a strange sight. That is all for today's video. Which of these places astonished you the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. We will see you at the next one.